Chapter 26, verse 1. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him, and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice, and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. And the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, She is my sister. For he feared to say, She is my wife, lest, said he, the men of the place should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out a window, and saw, and beheld, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife. And Abimelech called Isaac, and said, Behold, of a surety she is thy wife. And how saidst thou, She is my sister? And Isaac said unto him, Because I said, Lest I die for her. And Abimelech said, What is this thou hast done unto us? One of the people might lightly have lied with thy wife, and thou shouldst have brought guiltiness upon us. And Abimelech charged all his people, saying, He that toucheth this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Then Isaac sowed in that land, and received in the same year 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. And the man waxed great, and went forward, and grew until he became very great. For he had possession of flocks, and possession of herds, and a great store of servants, and the Philistines envied him. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them, and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, Go from us, for thou art much mightier than we. And Isaac departed thence, and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar, and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham. And he called their names after the names by which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley, and found there a well of springing water. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen, saying, The water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him. And they digged another well, and strove for that also, and he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed from thence, and digged another well, and for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth. And he said, For now the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. And he went up from thence to Beersheba. And the Lord appeared unto him the same night, and said, I am the God of Abraham thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and I will bless thee, and multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. And he builded an altar there, and called upon the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there, and there Isaac's servants digged a well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and Ahuzath, one of his friends, and Phicol, the chief captain of his army. And Isaac said unto them, Wherefore come ye to me, seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from you? And they said, We saw certainly that the Lord was with thee, and we said, Let there now be an oath betwixt us, even betwixt us and thee, and let us make a covenant with thee, that thou wilt do us no hurt, as we have not touched thee, and as we have done unto thee nothing but good, and have sent thee away in peace. Thou art now the blessed of the Lord. And he made them a feast, and they did eat and drink. And they rose up betimes in the morning, and sware one to another, and Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. And it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the well which they had digged, and said unto him, We have found water. And he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Bean the Beri the Hittite, and Bashemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mind unto Isaac and to Rebekah. In that we see that Isaac is told by the Lord that he should not go down to Egypt, as his father had, in order to survive a drought, a famine, that he would live in Gerar. Now, Gerar was one of the 5 royal cities of the Hittites. The king's title was Abimelech. And he goes there and he lives there for a while. And he has some problems. We're still dealing with the same thing. Rebecca is very fair to look on. Same problem as with Sarah. And Isaac is very terrified that the men are going to kill him in order to try and get her. And so he tells everybody she's his sister. The king sees that that isn't the case. And is very upset. And basically arranges for Isaac to leave the area and go live on his own. Now, Isaac takes his men, and it says, you know, Isaac is mightier than the Philistines are in that area, and they're afraid that, you know, there could be problems there. So Isaac goes outside of Gerar to the valley of Gerar. He might have been 8, 10, 12 miles away. That would have been very common. And they start redigging the wells that his father Abraham had dug to get water for their animals and for the people that had been filled in by the people of Abimelech. And very common. You didn't want to have water sources that were not controlled strictly by the people in the area, because that invited people to come in. Water was wealth. Water was the thing that made the difference between wealth and death. And you might have silver and gold as money, but if you didn't have water, it didn't make any difference what else you did or didn't have, because you weren't going to live there. So they would fill in an unused well that they could not prevent other people from using. And then Isaac's people and the people of Abimelech, herdsmen, contended over the well, and Isaac moved away, dug another well. They contended about that one, moved further away. They dug another one. They were okay. And so he could stay there for a while. And then he prospered in the land. It was obvious that he was prospering in the land, and Abimelech saw this. So Abimelech goes, takes his chief captain and other people, and they go and they visit and say, let's make a deal. Let's have a non-aggression pact. Let's cooperate, and we'll be friends. We haven't done anything negative to you, and we don't want to have any problems between us. And so let's make a covenant between us that we'll be friends. And so Isaac agrees to that. The next day, after these people leave, his servants come and say that we have the well that they are digging. They found water. They call the place Beersheba. But the big thing at the end is the fact that Esau, the birthright son, the firstborn son, the one who is supposed to be the heir, the one who is supposed to be the leader, the one who is supposed to be the righteous leader of the entire family, all the people, messes up big time because he marries Canaanite women who do not worship God, do not know God, will not bring their children up in the worship of God. And Esau has messed up badly, big time, permanently, forever, to the grief of both Isaac and Rebekah. Now, even though Rebekah favored Jacob as the son, it was because Jacob was a complete man. Jacob would have been, obviously, the better patriarch, the better authority. Esau was a great hunter. But Jacob was everything that Isaac was, everything that Abraham had been, everything that the people needed, not just a good hunter. And people have no idea. A lot of times they think, well, I just married for love. No, that isn't how it works. If you're going to be righteously leading the people, you need to have a righteous companion with you to support and sustain you. These people who were worshiping idols and worshiping all kinds of other strange things would kill their own children, offer their own children to be burned alive. All kinds of horrible, gross, pornographic things were part of their worship. And these were totally inappropriate, totally not acceptable to God. And so Esau marrying women who participated in these practices, who were willing to think these things were good, disqualified him permanently from being the righteous leader and having the birthright. And that's why, in the long run, it went to Jacob.